What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants or Us. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys will help us get there. Alright, so Superman and Lois may be taking the wrong lesson from the Snyderverse, says CBR. Okay, I just want to state for the record, I am not a huge Zack Snyder fan. I think that a lot of his DC movies are not really that good. I'm not one of those that believes that the Snyder Cut is going to save the day. I feel like it's maybe overrated in a lot of different ways. I feel like people hate Joss Whedon's version so much that anything they'll think is better than that. And you know what? I believe it's going to be slightly better than that, but I don't believe it's going to be game changing by any stretch of the imagination. But a lot of people for the new Superman and Lois series that will be coming out. I guess it's what, a month from now on the CW. A lot of people are saying that this is maybe a little bit too Snyderish, a little bit too dark for a Arrowverse type series. But me personally, I actually think it is breathtaking. In a lot of ways, it's or let me say, not breathtaking, refreshing in a lot of different ways. But let me just go ahead and I'll get to that. Just let me read a little bit of what this is saying about how it's doing the comparison of how the trailer for Superman and Lois resembles that of Snyder more than it does the normal Arrowverse show. It says, for many longtime Superman fans, Man of Steel drifted a little too far from the hope and optimism the character embodies. The city-leveling carnage, Superman's decision to remain in hiding and shy away from his responsibilities, and the brutality of Zod's final defeat all painted the film in a much darker tone than typical of a Superman story. And while there is no earth-shattering destruction to be seen in the Superman and Lois trailer, the tone is quieter. The Superman appears to be lost in doubt, and the visual influence of Snyder's work is evident in every frame. The Kents seem to be down on their luck and retreating from the world. Their relationship with their two teenage sons is strained, and at one point, Clark, the symbol of eternal hope, questions whether he is a bad father after one of his sons is almost crushed under falling metal pipe. Okay, now this is kind of where I have my problem with what they're wanting. They're wanting your typical Arrowverse shows, and let's face it, the Arrowverse is dying now. It's really been played out. It's really kind of corny now in a lot of ways. I've done a video on this about the reasons why I believe that the Arrowverse is failing. A lot of it is because you just see most of the characters in costume. You don't get that personal relationship with them, seeing their struggles, seeing them in their work life and in their home life and all of that. You don't get to see those three-dimensional characters anymore. You just see them in their costumes fighting crime. That's where the CW is failing. When they used to do all of that, they made better shows. Once they got away from it, these become one-dimensional characters, and we just knew them as the Flash, Arrow, whoever. We just knew them as those characters. We didn't know their internal struggles quite as well. But as far as the Arrowverse goes, them taking a page from Snyder, I actually think would be kind of, like I said, a breath of fresh air, but it would also be kind of getting back to where the Arrowverse used to be. You know, a lot of people when Arrow first come out said that it was a really, really dark take on the Green Arrow, and it was a very dark take. We got to see a real complexity of the characters. We got to see his internal struggles. We got to see him grow into a character that, we began to really love and endure. An enduring character, let me just put it that way. But what this Superman and Lois trailer is showing a lot of what we kind of enjoyed about this new gritty version of the Arrow when it first came out. Was, you got to see his struggles, his pain, his, like I said, his growth. Seeing Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois, in the worst moments, in the moments where no matter if you can, pick up the world itself, when you've got two children and, you feel like things are falling apart around you, it doesn't matter how strong you are. And I think, to me, what I saw in the trailer actually hints more at that. It's more of, you get to see a flawed, scared character. Um, it's not, maybe you could say it's not hopeful. It's not hopeful. It's not the hopeful character that we've all come to love about Superman. But the character that we've all come to love about Superman really isn't a realistic character. And in a lot of cases, we've never seen a Superman. Of course, we have and we haven't seen a Superman on screen that is playing that father figure. We've seen it sometimes in the comics. We've seen it, but we've never actually seen it on screen in a live action view. So to me, that changes everything. I mean, I know me as a father, it's a scary world out there. It's very scary. And if I was in his predicament, even if I could, like I said, pick up trucks and take on feels like the world and save thousands and thousands of people every day, there would always be that hint in me that I wouldn't be able to save my children. And that would be horrifying. And that is horrifying to a lot of parents. In fact, most parents, of the fact of feeling that you're not there for your children when they need you the most. To me, that is a better version of Superman than the ones that we've seen. Like you take Flash, for instance. Flash, there was that season where he was trying to save Iris, and it absorbed him as a character. And to me, I actually kind of enjoyed that aspect of the Flash of Barry Allen, because I felt like, what, anybody that's been in that situation, I mean, if you had he literally had all this power and felt helpless because he didn't know if he could save the one person that he cared the most about. To me, that was when the Flash was better than what it is now. Is when you got to see more of that layering of a character, not this. Oh well, who's the character of the day that we take on? So I'll disagree with this CW article. I really actually think we need more of it. I feel like if the Arrowverse is going to go out, it needs to go out with a bang. And to me, I think this is the perfect way for it to go out. Is with a show that is at its best, a show that is something different, something new, not just the same rehashing of Arrowverse shows that we've come to expect. I mean, look at Batwoman. I mean, what a mess! What a mess that show is. I mean, it takes on the typical Arrowverse ways, that the new Batwoman finds the bat suit in a wreck, and then, Batwoman's missing and all this blah, 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 all this nonsensical stuff. But it's not real. It's not realistic, and it's not fun anymore. Yes, I like living in an alternate reality from time to time. I like turning my brain off on some shows, but when I'm watching a superhero show, I guess in the 21st century, I guess I maybe kind of expect, some more realism to it. I want a character that's more layered than just your typical, character that just shows up to save the day on screen and takes on the bad guy of the week. You know, I want something a little bit more than that. I want to know what they're like in their home life. I want to know what they're like in their work life. I want to know how all of that and the stress of all of that plays into how they are as a superhero, how it makes them a better superhero in general, how it changes their ideals, their mindsets on life itself. You know, I don't think that's too much to ask for when you're talking about when you're talking about on when you're talking about taking on a someone that's as memorable as Superman. I think that's kind of what is missing from the Arrowverse. Now, as far as you can put, okay, I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not a huge Zack Snyder fan. And I don't believe that the Snyder Cut will save the day. You know the reason why I'm not a huge fan of the those movies, the DC movies, is because there's a such thing as the MCU. And the MCU is right now just dominating in every facet because it knows how to blend in really heart-wrenching moments with comedy and fun, where the DC films have just been really dark and morbid in a lot of ways, and there's not been that many fun. I mean, even Jason Momoa. You know, most time Jason Momoa, you put him in any movie, and he's going to be the heart of the film. You know, he's going to bring that that grit, that excitement to it. But even he couldn't even do that with Aquaman. I didn't feel like. But it's because of poor writing. It's too dark, maybe in that aspect. But it's only too dark because it's in comparison to the MCU. If you if the MCU didn't exist and you took those DC films in general, I believe that those DC films would be more popular. But it's just when you compare the two, they just don't match up because one you can sit there and watch with your family. The other one you question whether this is the Superman or the Batman that you grew up with. Like, I mean, you question if it's too dark, but you only question that because you're comparing it to the MCU films. That's at least my take on it. But guys, let me know. Let me know if y'all enjoyed this new Superman and Lois. The way that they're doing. Do you think they're going to Zack Snyder? Or do you think that this is maybe the kickstart that the Arrowverse needs to become more realistic, to become more layered, or create layered characters? Something that they have been missing, and I don't think anyone denies that. But just let me know what y'all think down there in the comment section. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.